Hello, this is Todd. I'm here with a couple of rabbit hunters. This is Todd with the Eastern Carolina Houndsman Alliance. I've got some testimony that I want you guys to hear. Go ahead and give your name.
Vince Held.
Go ahead and tell me your story, Vince.
December the 30th, we were hunting private property, block here. The dogs got away from us. They got on the other side of the block. Two people, what I was told was a young couple out of town, stopped beside 258 South, run 30 feet out into the field, snatched my dogs up, had two good numbers on the collars. They claimed that they tried to call the numbers. I checked my caller ID when I got home. They did not try to call me and tell me they had my dogs. They immediately put them in the car and took them to the Lenoir County SPCA. The lady from the Lenoir County SPCA called my house. My wife answered, second ring, told us that she had my dogs. I was gonna have to pay $15 a piece for each dog for pickup fees, $15 a piece for rabies shots if I could not provide documentation where they had already had their rabies shots. I said my dogs were picked up on the highway, which me and my buddy went and we seen where the dogs come out of the woods. They never made it to the road. They never went that far. We seen where the people pulled off the side of the road, got out and run 30 feet into the field on private property and snatched my dogs up, put them in their car and carried them to the SPCA. And when I talked to the lady, she removed all four of my collars on my dogs. When I informed her that that was a felony, that she committed a felony by taking my collars off, she told me that first off that my collars were too tight. And when I informed her that when I took my dogs off the tailgate, I put my hand underneath the collars, that's how I put my dogs on the ground, that my collars were not too tight. Then she told me that she took them off because they were injured, which they were avid dogs. They run through the briars, they scratched their ears, the blood off their ears flopped back on the neck. That's why there was blood around the collars and the neck. When I told her that I was considering pressing charges, the felonies for taking my collars off, she hemmed and hawed and said, well, that I'll waive the pickup fees, but you need to come up with the rabies shots. I couldn't find my documentation for my rabies shot, so I told her to go ahead and do the rabies shots and I would take care of that. But I asked her, did they condone snatching dogs off of private property and carrying them to the SPCA so they can make money off of it for pickup fees, for rabies shots, for veterinarian checking them out? And she assured me that that's not what they done, but it sure seems funny that's what happened. And I'm a member of Lenoir County Hunters Association. I brought this up to the president, and they told me this is not the first time that they've had a situation like this with Lenoir County SPCA. That this has happened many times in the past. And I'd like something done about Lenoir County SPCA snatching dogs up and charging money that shouldn't be charged. I mean, if the dogs are being mistreated, which mine are not, they're well taken care of, they get all their shots.
I can vouch for that. Your dogs are fat.
They get wormed. I mean, I told the lady when I talked to her, I told her that my dogs get ivermectin every month for heartworms. They get parental for intestinal worms every 3 months. Or if I see something going on in their stool, I give it to them and treat them then. But I'm sick of Lenoir County SPCA, and something needs to be done about it.
Okay, and you were a witness to all this. Anything?
Yes, sir. My name is Solomon Estevez. We weren't far from the location where the dogs were picked up. We were looking for them as soon as we lost them. We didn't waste no time. We knew they'd gone far beyond our range of our shot callers, so we went looking for them, and we looked for 4 hours, and we looked 30 minutes prior to that, and they had called us already from the SPCA, which that tells us that as soon as they seen them, they picked them up and took them down there because it's about a 40-minute drive from where we're at to the SPCA. So that tells us they never even tried to call.
You told me earlier before we turned the camera on that it was about 30 minutes from the time you noticed the dogs
Yeah,
missing until the SPCA called.
Yep,
Vince's
it was 30
house.
minutes into the search. The SPCA called us and told us that they had his dogs, and we had already picked up mine, and they were the only two we were looking for, and they had picked them dogs up 30 minutes right after we started searching. So that tells us that as soon as they seen them dogs, they picked them up.
Well, fellas, I'm just going to add this. I talk to people all over the country, and what you're describing is not a Lenore County SPCA problem. It's a problem throughout the entire country. From North Carolina to California, people are stopping on the side of the road, taking hunting dogs and taking them to pounds. They talk about it in internet forums. They discuss the best way to do it. There are even groups dedicated to taking hunting dogs and transporting them to various locations 200 and 300 miles away so that the owners cannot find the dogs. What you experienced happens a lot, and from what you're telling me is that you're a victim of somebody stealing your dogs.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The SPCA knows who dropped the dogs off, and they wouldn't tell you, so you could press charges.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They made it a point. When she asked me, she made a point to ask me how long it would take me to get there. And I told her somebody would be there to get my dogs within 30 minutes.
Yep.
And when my wife and my mother got there, they wanted to talk to the people that picked my dogs up, and they were gone. They made it a point for them people not to be there. And when they asked when I asked on the phone, well, who picked them up? I want some names. Well, that's irrelevant. That's not important. It's what I was told.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your information.
Thank you.
Thank you.